What's up, soggy strangers?
Soggy.
I just looked up spring words that start with S, and soggy
It's
was
funny.
on there.
Ironic. We haven't had much rain lately.
No, but we had enough rain in the last in April. That was insane.
We actually have like you can't burn right now.
No, the amount of rain was insane in the membrane.
Yeah,
and
it
all
was.
that.
But did you even notice all the flowering trees on our property when you drove in? Probably not.
No, I was looking
Everything
at those. I was looking at those things I thought were chickens.
Oh, the guinea hens?
Yeah, the neighbor's guinea hens. I thought they were chickens.
Our apple trees are blossoming. We have a
Nice.
crab apple that's blossoming. Lilacs are coming in. It's pretty magical here right now.
Are you guys going to make anything with your apples?
Well, they didn't really produce much in the way of apples last year. I think those trees have really been neglected.
Oh.
But we had peaches coming out of our ears. We have peaches in the freezer.
Peaches galore.
Oh my gosh. We were giving them away, and they are the best peaches.
I hate that Peaches song by Presidents of the
Oh, yeah. And I think of it every year.
Yes, and I hate that song.
Or I shouldn't say every year. We haven't been here a year.
If you don't want to listen to us talk about
Peaches
and songs from the 90s,
hit pause. Check the show notes. Kurt will have posted the topic time stamp start. Wow.
what she just said.
I should just have like a little recorder of that and hit play.
You should. Or make an audio clip of it. You could just paste in there.
Paste in there, yeah.
Shout outs to the newest people who joined the Strangers
Is it
Facebook
nobody
page.
again?
It is nobody. So I want to give shout outs to my coworker Sam, who is awesome, listens to the podcast.
Hi,
Love
Sam.
you, Sam. Britt. I want to give a shout out to Britt.
Oh, we have a new strangeling,
We do
everybody.
have a new strangeling.
So
Brittany had a baby, so
yes.
congratulations.
Juniper, I love that name so much.
I want to give a shout out to stranger Jeremy, longtime stranger Jeremy.
Yeah, like from the
who's
beginning.
having stuff going on,
Yeah.
sending you love, buddy. And of course, shout outs to Eric, who's going through some health stuff. Love you too, buddy. Anybody else you want to shout out?
No. Nope.
No.
Kirsten's getting married a week from today. She does occasionally listen. So.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Exciting. We just had a shower at work the other day. So.
She hasn't met me, though. Maybe she'd break up with him and
marry
me.
Yeah. Well, I better keep you guys apart.
Keep me away.
She's 28, 27. So
that's
a little out of your...
I ain't got that kind of energy anymore. Do we have any housekeeping? I felt like I thought we did, but I don't have anything written down.
Well, we're off for Memorial Day weekend.
There'll be a week, we won't release an episode 2 weeks from now when we usually do.
Yeah.
And then we'll reconvene at the normal time.
Yeah, so the next episode will come out June 7th, and we were just completely shocked that at that time we will be halfway through the year already.
Yeah,
and that just
that's crazy
blows
to me.
my mind.
Yep.
We have a lot to fit in before December.
We
do have it all mapped out, like I said.
Yeah.
We're moving things around a little bit, but I think September's wide open, so we'll be able to fit some stuff.
We still have to do a listener question or listener stories.
Oh, yes. So that's not even on the map. I thought it was.
I don't remember if it was or not, but there's stuff coming
I thought
up.
it was.
All this stuff going on in the news, all this UFO disclosure stuff.
Yeah, I saw something about them releasing photos.
On Reddit, there's this picture of them holding, like, it's an old picture from like the 50s where two guys are holding this little dude with the arms going up, and people are like, have you seen this? And I'm like, I saw that when I was a kid in a book, and it's not unknown, and it's been kind of proven that it was an April Fool's hoax.
Yeah.
So it's like they're releasing
all
stuff.
the stuff's going to come out of the woodwork now.
It's not.
Right.
Doesn't really matter.
It's just so sad that we're in this time of AI now where.
Yeah.
I mean, the government could create anything and release it and call it, classified document.
Yeah.
We wouldn't know.
It's. And what they released is nothing grand, I don't think.
No, isn't it just like blips on radar?
I was going through some of it, and it's like, come on.
We've already seen like the Tic Tac video. It's stuff kind of like that.
Yep. Just not too impressed.
Underwhelming.
Very underwhelming. Went to the doctor.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because she's, my cholesterol is high.
Mm-hmm.
I've never really had high cholesterol, surprisingly.
Yeah, that's surprising.
And my cholesterol's high, so I talked to my doctor.
It's actually not crazy either.
That's what she said. She says it's not crazy high where you need to worry about it, but
make some changes.
She said make some changes.
Yeah.
And then she was like, because she gave me a steroid cream for my hands too, because I got that weird thing on my hands. Yeah.
Good.
But she said, when we were done with the stuff, she's like, do you still want your prescription sent to Garfield Street at Two Rivers? And I said, yeah. And she goes, why do you get it sent all the way to Two Rivers? And I said, because when I pick it up, I stop and get Chinese food in Two Rivers. And she's like, oh my God. Yeah. But no, so it's like our insurance
You
at
have
work.
your routines.
Our insurance at work isn't that great. So I have to pay some for this, you know, and it's like, I was like, okay, I'll be done. Oh, and she said she is not letting me. She said she let me slide long enough. She's not letting me get away with not getting a colonoscopy.
Yep.
So I have to do
time.
that. I know. I have
Should
to.
have done it 5 years ago.
I know. But I know.
See what you did there.
So,
dude, it's not a big deal.
I know. In 6 months,
It's so not a big deal.
In 6 months, I gotta get one.
Full disclosure, I had one this year, and it was not a big deal at all.
You told me how it was, and you live streamed it on Facebook.
Yeah.
So I got to do that. But then 2 days after that, I wake up in the morning and I walk to the bathroom, and all of a sudden I'm like swatting because I see like a spider hanging off me, and I'm like, what the hell? And it's not there. And now I have a black spot in my vision.
All the time?
Yeah. That's at first, because I told some of the nurses at work, and at first we thought it was a floater, but it's not, because it's always in the same spot. So when I'm trying to read, that black spot is always there.
Weird.
Moving around. And it's like, what the hell happened? I went to bed without it, and then I woke up with this black spot.
I'd get that looked at right away.
Yeah.
That's not something you
I
let
know, but I
hang out
don't,
there.
my insurance stuff.
Kurt.
I know. But
that is not something
like
you
right
let
now
go.
I'm looking at my notes for today, and right down here is the black spot, and then when I move my eyes a little, it moves.
I would not wait on that.
I don't know if I have something in my eye.
You could,
but I've rubbed it, and I mean, it doesn't like the nurses at work asked me, they're like, does it hurt or itch? And I said, no, it doesn't feel any different. It's just when I look, I see this black spot. That almost looks like a floater, but it's not, because floaters float, and this one's always in the same spot. So now I got that going for me.
Make an appointment. You heard it here, everybody. Spam him with comments that he needs to get to the doctor.
Somebody,
you don't
one of our
ignore
listeners
something
will make
like
an
that.
appointment for me.
Yeah. That's not something you let go.
I know. But yeah, so now I got that going on. We have any other housekeeping?
We didn't talk about we did kind of talk about the weather.
Did anybody die recently? I mean, like
famous? No, we talked
feel
about
like
that in the last episode.
I feel like there's something that's happened on the news that we're not talking about. That it's like.
I also don't really watch the news, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
sure someone has died.
something big happened in the world,
Yeah.
but I kind of avoid the news. Oh, what is it? Oh, I've been actually following that Kristen Smart disappearance. Like, I've always been super into that case.
The name is very familiar.
Where she
to
was
me.
a college student back in the 90s, and she went and got drunk at this party, and like two of her friends were carrying her home, and like the other guy is like, oh, I'll take her the rest of the way.
Oh.
And then she disappeared.
Okay.
And everybody knows this guy did it. And then they were digging in his dad's yard and found traces
Recently?
They found traces of
Do we do an
that there was
episode on this?
that there was a human buried
should
there
we?
at one time. No, because he's in jail now, and the dad was put in jail. They found evidence in the soil that there was a body buried there, and for years it's been thought that something was buried at her mom's house.
Her mom's house?
Yeah, no, not the girl that died. The guy that killed her.
Oh, okay.
Buried at his mom's house because she rented it to somebody. And the lady that she rented it to said every morning for like 2 weeks at 4:20 in the morning, she would hear what sounded like a watch alarm going off outside in the ground.
No.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, and then it stopped. And everybody says that is when because she had to start work at 5 as a lifeguard. And everybody said that was probably when her watch alarm went off.
Do we have alarms on our watches in the 90s?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Digital watches.
Okay.
But they couldn't check. They had no reason to check the yard there, I guess.
Isn't that reason enough?
I don't know. I don't know how any of this works. So they never really checked that yard. But one of the neighbors that has a fence adjoining them had people come in and dig into the soil in their yard, and they found traces that there was a human buried back there. So right now the police are digging in there looking for the watch, because they think that the guy killed her.
The body went in the dad's yard.
The body went in the dad's yard.
But other evidence?
Underneath his fence. And
Okay.
they dug it up and then moved it to the mom's yard, and they think they moved it again.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like
where is there someplace you can go to watch all of this? Is it like
there's actually a podcast
special?
called Your Own Backyard, and he's the guy that basically, because he started this podcast about this case, and he's the one that got the guy brought to trial.
Wow.
Like he's responsible for all of this going on, is him starting a podcast
Well,
about
that guy
this.
probably wants to murder him too.
Oh, there's a picture that the guy that does the podcast took, because I was following this all on Instagram this week, where he's like taking a picture, the police are talking to the mom and she's flipping him off.
Oh.
So they
Wow.
hate him. And they said the mom and the dad have driven, the mom can't be at the house. She's like kicked out while they're doing this, but they said they've seen them driving, that they're worried that they're gonna
Heck yeah.
they're gonna find something. But yeah, it's like a fascinating case. Yeah, Kristen.
I knew
Smart.
the name was familiar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah, you should. And that the podcast is really good. Anyway, that's not what this episode is about.
Wow, that was a bit of a detour.
Jump into our
we have a taste
test.
test. Yeah.
I have 2 taste tests.
Okay. One's a bevy,
One's a bevy, one's a snacky.
snacky, and a bevy.
Should we do the bevy first?
Sure.
Not
Well,
really.
it depends. Is the snack going to be gross and we need to wash it down with the
No,
bevy?
I think the
Okay.
snack might be good, but
Okay. I've heard that
but
before.
I don't know something.
Okay.
But we'll get to that.
Oh.
This one isn't really like gross sounding, but it's intriguing, and I have no idea. This is from the Asian market in Manitowoc. I love that place.
Okay. Coffee soda, orange.
Yeah,
Coffee
it's
soda.
coffee, orange coffee
that's
soda.
The twist that I'm not so sure
Yeah.
about. Oh, I'm gonna move that. I'll have my Lucy mug.
She's got
in
her.
the
I
background.
love her Lucy mug that's got like 24 pictures of Lucy's face on it. Yeah, so
Very dark in here.
that
Oh,
can't be. It can't be bad.
Okay. Am I opening this?
Did your picture work?
Yeah. Let's see.
Because you
Yep.
you moved it at the last second. Yep.
That's good. Ready?
You can do it and do the sniff test.
Smells like marijuana.
Are you serious?
Just for like a
me
second.
s-
Hold on. Let me
okay.
pour some. Oh, it's brown, which I wasn't. I guess it's coffee though, so it must have caffeine in it.
Oh,
Isn't that
does
weird?
sound like marijuana.
Like back in the day, we would get what we call ditchweed, and it smelled. It
smells
smelled
like-
like orange peels.
It smells like somebody's drinking orange peel tea and smoking weed. Yeah. Wow.
That's
got
weird.
It's got like a funk.
Does it smell like coffee? I don't
smell
smell
orange.
coffee.
Yeah.
This is gonna be weird. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, it's very coffee. Oh, that's good.
It's actually really good.
Yeah, that was very unexpected. I mean,
Yeah.
that tastes like iced coffee.
It tastes like iced coffee with a little bit
With
of orange
orange in it.
that I did not think would be.
very
I did not think
unexpected.
would be good, but it is.
Yeah, that's good.
I actually really like
Okay.
that. I'm giving that a 10. I
Yeah,
think
I am
that's
too.
great.
That was weird.
And this,
Really
we've
creepy.
had mochi. How do you
Yeah,
pronounce
we
them?
have, yeah.
Mochis.
Don't ask me.
But I got
Oh,
these.
those they look good.
I got these because I have a confession to make.
I see
that
raspberries,
No,
strawberries.
I have no idea what tiramisu is.
Tiramisu?
I don't know what tiramisu is.
Oh, it's one of the best desserts in the entire world. So
I don't-
what it is?
I don't think I've ever had it.
It's ladyfingers, which are like a soft cookie.
Yeah.
And they're layered with like a custard kind of. It's made with like eggs and whatnot.
Is it coffee flavored?
Yes.
Okay.
And then there's espresso. You dip the ladyfingers in espresso, and they soak it up and they soften, and then
that
it's
sounds
layers
good.
of like
That
like a
sounds
custard.
good.
And then
Yeah.
there's cocoa powder. I've made tiramisu. It's probably one of my favorite desserts in the whole world.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had it.
Wow, I just got so excited.
But these
Settle down.
mochis or whatever, these are kind of weird because I don't know if I like the texture where it's got like that raw dough.
Yeah.
On the- you know
they
what I
do have a
mean?
weird
Yeah.
texture. They're like chewy and spongy in a way. Like,
yeah.
okay.
It's like you're eating something you feel like you shouldn't be eating.
Yeah.
Like the inside of
this
us,
shouldn't be
like
food.
the stuffing from a pillow.
Okay, ready? Are they wrapped?
I don't
good,
know.
They're individually wrapped. I'm going to take 2. Ugh. Okay. Yeah, I mean, they look like mochi.
This coffee soda taste lingers. It's not really leaving.
Yeah. Yeah, the coffee part of it
Yeah.
sticks with you. Okay. I gotta take a picture of the mochi. We're probably saying that all wrong, and I keep forgetting to talk into my microphone, so I apologize. Oh, interesting. Oh, it's so soft.
Yeah.
That's weird. I mean, that's just like...
I know. That's where I feel like it's something we shouldn't be eating.
It's like... It's a really odd texture.
Yeah. I can't smell
I mean,
anything.
I smell a little chocolate.
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready? We both just went,
Oh,
I'm picking up the
it's weird.
tiramisu,
It
actually.
takes a little while for the taste to kick in. Oh,
I mean, it's good. If the texture's off-putting to me, I think the flavor's really good, though. I get the espresso flavor. I get the chocolate.
I give that a 7.
It's just so squishy.
I know. It's like
I'm not mad at it. Yeah,
No.
I give it like a 7 too.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just I expected more.
I'm gonna be so caffeinated,
Yeah, from all this.
and I've already had.
I just have a hard time
Coffee.
getting past that sponginess.
Yeah.
There's something about that I don't like.
I agree. I want to actually bite into it and see the middle.
It's good though.
Yep.
But I like that you have to chew for a little bit before I feel like the taste actually kicks in.
Yeah, the texture's weird to me, but that's how it's supposed to be. Okay.
7. I'm gonna
Yeah.
give it an 8.
Solid 7.
I'm gonna move it up to an 8 because it does taste like it's like I can taste the coffee, I can taste the chocolate.
You have to try tiramisu.
Maybe
You might never go for a coffee lover. You
maybe
might
for
never.
our final episode. Maybe for our final episode,
Yeah.
I'll try tiramisu.
Maybe I'll make tiramisu for our
Okay.
final episode.
What
Corey like
time are
coffee?
we looking at?
Corey likes monster drinks.
Yeah, Corey likes Monster.
Does he like coffee though?
I
Because
don't-
he'll be here for our final.
I don't know if he does.
Oh,
or
our
not, to be honest with you.
final episode, like May of
Yeah.
2027.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are we going to put that? Because if we have enough for the Strange Sessions hosting site for 1 year,
I have to look at like when it renews. So Podbean, you mean the Podbean
Yeah.
site? I'll look at when we got charged for it last.
Okay.
I feel like it's pretty recent, but it's May, so we might be like skirting the.
yeah. Well, we can always. But I'd like to release it the 10 years from the day we
I know.
started when we released the
know.
first one.
And I don't want to renew it for a whole
No.
year.
No, and I also don't know.
I don't
like,
think
if
it's
I do,
cheap.
If I do Stranged and Confused, where are we going to put? Am I going to do that
yeah.
with Podbean?
Yeah,
So much stuff to figure out.
there is.
If I live that long with my
For
eye
God's sakes.
problem and my.
Have you Googled it? Maybe don't do that.
I don't Google stuff.
Don't do
because
that.
Everything
Okay.
leads to you're dead. LOL.
Yeah,
you know.
100%.
What time are we looking at?
I don't have my glasses on. 18 minutes. So we're right on time.
We're doing good.
Titillating 20 is a little less, actually. So that's good. Yeah, we're good.
We don't have any other packages. No, nothing's came on our mail for a little while.
Is this like the third episode in a row with no new strangers?
Yeah. But I think
mean-
even if we weren't ending, I think it would just die down because there's just
Yeah.
There's
Our
the-
Podbean Insights, though, said we still had over 5,000 downloads last
Yeah.
month, which always surprises me.
Yeah.
Even the book club always has downloads.
know.
And we haven't done that in a really
No.
long time. And there was only one season.
But I don't think us saying that this is our last season affected people joining. I think it's just
No.
It's just
It's run its course,
yeah, and
honestly.
it's saturated. The market's saturated.
Oh, my
Everybody and their
gosh.
barber has a
Yes.
podcast now, So it's just like
And their barbers.
it's like
Totally.
because, like I said, when we started, there weren't that many podcasts,
Which
so
is actually really cool. I
Yeah.
love that people have an outlet that they,
I feel like we caused it to blow up.
Oh,
Strange
for
Sessions
sure.
caused it to
Heck
blow
yeah.
up. That's
we're
what I
pioneers.
think. Yeah, we're something. Speaking of pioneers,
Ooh.
I know. I like
Nice
that. I
segue.
like that segue. Do you know anything about Robert Monroe? Oh, and we're
I'm
only,
sure some of this will ring a bell.
Yeah, we're only doing Robert Monroe because I talked about doing Wilhelm Reich too.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot here. There's a lot of rabbit holes we're going to be going. We're going to be dipping our toes into here.
Okay.
And Wilhelm Reich stuff is a lot about sex. So
Okay.
I was like,
I mean, I'm guessing we're going to talk about some kind of experimentation and.
a little bit.
I mean,
Again,
the
I
Monroe
don't-
Institute sounds like a place where they're doing research and.
The Monroe Institute is actually pretty fascinating, but like I could see some of our listeners doing it, but I wouldn't, just because it freaks me out. That's what freaks me out. Anyway,
is it hypnosis or something?
no, but it's kind of close.
Okay,
but we're going to take a couple.
Are we going to get to that?
We're going to get to that. There's going to be a couple rabbit holes here. We're going to be talking about some stuff that we've actually talked about in the past.
Okay. I'm sure we've touched on it, right?
No, not really.
No?
Not really.
Okay. I'm getting my blankie.
But what we did ties episodes we've done kind of ties in with this.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready.
Robert Allen Monroe, probably Bob to his friends, was born in 1915 in Indiana and grew up in Lexington, Kentucky and Columbus, Ohio. His mother was a non-practicing medical doctor. I don't understand that.
Non-practicing medical. Well, she has all the credentials and the training. She just doesn't practice.
Yeah. His mother was a non-practicing medical doctor, cellist, and piano player.
Oh.
His father was a professor of Romance languages who led summer tours to Europe.
Honestly, at that time, early 1900s, it was probably very uncommon for a female doctor.
Maybe that's why she wasn't practicing.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted her. He dropped out of Ohio State University in his sophomore year due to a hospital stay for a facial burn that caused him to fall behind in his studies. During almost a year away from college, he tried to find work living a hobo lifestyle and riding the rails.
Which we've talked
about. He returned to Ohio State and graduated after having studied pre-med.
Was that a side session? Sorry.
It was a side session about van living, like van life and hobo stuff. He returned to Ohio State and graduated after having studied pre-med, English, engineering, and journalism. Talk about an overachiever.
Yeah. I feel lazy all of a sudden.
Yeah, I know. I only have English. Monroe developed ulcers in young adulthood and was classified 4F, or unfit for service, during World War II. He spent the war years working for a manufacturing company that designed a very early flight simulator prototype. He wrote an aviation column in Argosy magazine and was given a job with the National Aeronautic, I don't know what aeronautic is, National Aeronautic Association, or the NAA, for whom he produced a weekly radio show called Scramble, the primary purpose of which was to interest youths in aviation. This is where he became highly interested in radio. In 1953, Monroe formed RAM Enterprises, a corporation that produced network radio programs, as many as 28 programs monthly, principally in dramas and popular quiz shows. I think Name That Tune was one of the ones that he produced.
Okay.
So he's working in radio and really likes it. In 1956, the firm created a research and development division to study the effects of various sound patterns on human consciousness. With his interest in radio, this was a natural direction for him to take, applying this to the audio production methods he used in the firm's commercial activities. The purpose was to find more constructive uses for knowledge than was ordinarily available. Monroe had heard about the idea of sleep learning and was attracted to the concept. You ever tried sleep learning? Putting something on a recorder and...
I would just be awake all night.
So would I.
I would just lay there and listen to it all night. But I know people that have done that
for tests where they record.
Really?
Yeah.
And did it work?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Okay.
In the spring of... So he's messing around with this sound stuff because he loves the idea, I guess, of putting sound things into his radio programs to help people learn or to help people do something.
Subliminal messages?
Sort of subliminal messages, but not really.
Not messages, but like
subliminal effects.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And we're going to get to those. So
I've been curted like 5 times so far.
There's a lot of curting in this episode. Yep. In the spring of Monroe had heard about the idea of sleep learning and was attracted to the concept. In the spring of 1958, he had been trying to increase mental retention by listening to a tape while other sensory inputs were minimized. What does that remind you of, having your sensory inputs minimized?
Minimized?
Yeah.
Oh, a lobotomy.
No.
Oh.
Or Estes method. Because you have all the other sensory inputs
shut off. Yeah. A lobotomy. Well, come on.
That too.
That's fair.
That too, I guess. So he's messing around with trying to figure out a way to increase the way you remember stuff.
Yeah.
Using sounds while your other sensory inputs.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
While doing this one day, he suffered a severe cramp in the solar plexus, which lasted for 10 and a half hours.
Eesh.
And he's like, what happened.
Yeah.
About 3 weeks later, following a brief sleep, he then felt a sensation of being struck by an invisible beam of warm light, which paralyzed him and made his body vibrate violently. He was able to force himself to move after a few seconds. Sounds like sleep paralysis.
Yes, it does.
This happened 9 more times over the following 6 weeks. I would have been freaking out. He then decided finally not to try to fight the phenomenon, whatever it was. On one occasion, several months later, as the vibrations started, he pushed his fingers into the rug beneath his bed and felt them touch the floor, then the ceiling beneath, then the water below. The next time the phenomenon occurred, he found himself floating tight up against the ceiling of his bedroom, looking down, seeing himself sleeping in his bed next to his wife.
Wow.
Yeah. As Monroe became more able to control this, he traveled further and was able to verify events that he had seen while being in the out-of-the-body state.
So this is like astral projection
Yeah,
now?
this is
Okay.
basically, this is where astral projection kind of either started or boomed.
Or at least had a name attached to it,
Yep.
maybe?
As Monroe became more able to control this, he traveled further and was able to verify events he had seen while in this state. Many such accounts are described in his 3 books. A few months after the onset of the phenomenon, he suffered a heart attack and spent 3 weeks in the hospital. During this time, his wife made copies of his notes, and we've mentioned this guy in like a couple other episodes. His wife made copies of his notes and gave them to parapsychologist Andrea Puhark, that we've mentioned in other episodes.
Okay.
I want to say remote viewing,
Oh, okay.
which we also get into again in this episode.
Okay. Well, this has a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it does. This one really does. So we got this Robert Monroe who's realizing that he can astral project. His wife made copies of his notes and gave them to this Puharich, who mentioned them in his book. However, Puharich had misunderstood the experiences to be the result of an addiction to glue sniffing. And even though, I don't know.
Did he have an addiction
I don't know
to
if he
glue
was addicted to glue sniffing. And even though a pseudonym had been used, people figured out who it was, and Monroe's reputation was damaged. In the early 1960s, Monroe lost 2 close friends to death and experimented to see if he might be able to contact them in an out-of-body state. He reported that he did visit them and communicated with the spirits of one, but only saw the other. That's creepy.
Yeah.
In the mid-1960s, Puharich introduced Monroe to parapsychologist Charles Tart, who had just received his PhD and had developed an interest in altered states of consciousness. Monroe participated in a series of tests supervised by Tart, in which subjects who were able to move out of body at will were challenged to read numbers that were not visible from the bed where they lay. Monroe did not succeed in this, although he had an experience that did include vertical elements. So apparently he can project, but he's not able to read what's going on.
Okay.
You know.
Mm-hmm. He's a sender, not a receiver.
Yeah. In 1971, Monroe wrote his first book titled Journeys Out of the Body. It's credited with popularizing the term out-of-body experience and for introducing the ability to self-induce OBEs, a practice previously called astral projection, to a large audience. It sold around 1 million copies.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
But this is kind of when it was originally astral projection, but then when he wrote this book, it became OBEs or out-of-body experiences. So he's the one that originated that term.
Okay.
This would be a good one for the Stranged and Confused because it's in the 70s.
Oh,
with
yeah.
This Journeys Out of the Body. Mm-hmm. After the publication of Monroe's first book in 1971, he and his third wife, Nancy, moved to an upscale property in Virginia where he built a small research laboratory. Having experimented with sleep learning through oral stimulus, oral as in your ears, A-U-R, not mouth,
Yep.
during sleep, Monroe now sought a sound technology that would cause out-of-body experiences. He had little success with this until one of his scientists came across a magazine article about binaural beats. You know what those are?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And they've always freaked me out
They
a little
freak
bit.
me out too. They 100% freak me out. I can't. Like, I've tried.
I've kind of avoided
Yep.
it for fear of
Yeah.
not knowing what to.
No.
Yeah.
And I think that's like where you and I have this
Yeah.
same lock.
Nothing to mess
like,
with
we
us.
don't want anything messing with our minds.
Yes.
Like we don't want that. So it's funny you said that because I've tried listening to binaural beat stuff and it freaks me out. But I'll get into that. There's a little bit here in a discussion about that.
I will say what I have tried, I haven't noticed anything.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah,
but maybe that's also me being very resistant.
Exactly. Me too. So he had little success until one of his scientists came across an article about binaural beats. So what exactly is that? The concept of binaural beats was first introduced. When would you think it was first?
I was just literally thinking, I had no idea it's been around as, like, we're talking about the 60s right now. I would have thought this is something that was developed in recent years. So I'm sure I'm going to be way off because I was thinking this was like a very modern thing.
I did too. No idea. No guesses.
The 30s.
The concept of binaural beats was first introduced in 1839 by a
I was only 100 years off, Kurt.
by a Prussian physicist named Dove.
Wow.
He discovered that when two tones of slightly different frequencies are played in each ear, the brain perceives a third tone known as a binaural beat. This phenomenon occurs because the brain attempts to combine the two frequencies, creating an auditory illusion.
I don't like that.
I don't like that either. I won't listen to them. It freaks me out.
Yeah.
The significance of binaural beats was further explored in 1973 by biophysicist Gerald Oster, who published a pivotal paper titled, quote, Auditory Beats in the Brain in Scientific American. Oster's research highlighted the potential applications of binaural beats in cognitive and neurological studies, sparking renewed interest in the field. Monroe's research team created audio tapes with binaural beats at the low frequencies that correspond to brainwave frequency at altered states of consciousness. At certain frequencies, the right and left hemisphere synchronized, and experiments showed that this did indeed produce out-of-body experiences.
I just have to say I'm watching the audio, you know? And one of them actually is shaped like a heart. I've never seen that
I wonder
before.
what word that was.
Yeah. We'll have to go back and look.
Synchronicity. So according to him, they were able to induce out-of-body experiences with binaural beats.
Okay, those are two things that really freak me out, actually.
Yeah.
I love the idea of having an out-of-body experience, but it terrifies me at the same time.
I talk about that thing in high school with the hypnosis where they tried they took the psychology club that I was in up to the tower at Lincoln and hypnotized us, and I freaked.
Again, did your parents sign off on that?
I started out okay, and then I freaked the hell out where I was shaking, I was crying, and the teacher is like, so I have something weird going on.
And the teacher was like, I probably should have had your parents sign something for this.
Yeah. But you and I are very alike with when it comes to like you and I don't think we can be possessed because we have such a clamp on our minds that we don't let anything in.
Right.
And I don't like letting anything in that would even not alter, but even influence my brain, you know?
Well, yeah. I love the idea of lucid dreaming, but that's you having complete control, which is the total opposite of what we're talking about.
I've only had one.
I suppose there could be like a lucid dreaming component to an out-of-body experience, though, if you feel like you can control what's happening to you during your out-of-body experience.
I had one lucid dream in my life, and
I did too for just a few seconds.
I was dreaming. And I was in the swimming pool at Woodrow Wilson, my junior high school. And for a split second, I realized I was dreaming and I wanted to fight Freddy Krueger. So then I was like fighting Freddy Krueger in the pool room at school. And that's the only time that's ever happened where I was able to know I was dreaming.
Yeah, that only happened to me once too. And it was very, very, very brief.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, where are we here?
I wonder if binaural beats are something that happen just if the conditions are right out in nature.
It's possible. I was listening
to
Jim Harold's Paranormal Report, where it's like the weekly report of what's going on, and it's him and his wife doing what's going on in the news, and they said some magazine somewhere. Actually, when I was listening to it driving out here, they said some magazine somewhere said they think that ghosts don't exist, and that what ghosts are the water pipes in the house, where when the water goes through in a certain way, it causes infrared sound with the vibration, and that's what makes people feel uneasy.
Infrasound? Like the sounds that like when a big cat is growling?
Yeah. Like it vibrates to where you can't
It actually
hear
impacts your
but
nervous
it impacts
system?
your nervous system. But
What
then,
about out in nature?
That's exactly what his wife said. His wife said, okay, but then what about places out in nature or houses that are abandoned where there's no water running through the pipes?
Yeah, they didn't think that one out.
But
they got to flesh that out a little better.
Stuff like that is like interesting, like the
water
like,
pipes.
like also when you roll up your car window to the where it's just open a little bit, how that can drive you crazy.
Yeah.
Yep. So Monroe's research team then created audio tapes of binaural beats at the low frequencies that corresponded to brainwave frequencies at altered states of consciousness. In 1975, he received the first of several patents for what would become to be called Hemi-Sync technology, HEMI-SYNC. That's Hemi-Sync. So Hemi-Sync, or hemispheric synchronization, that's a mouthful, is the audio technology Monroe developed to help people reach specific consciousness states reliably and repeatably. The principle is binaural beating. When two slightly different audio frequencies are presented to the left and right ears through headphones, the brain perceives a pulse at the difference frequency and tends to synchronize its own electrical activity to that frequency. For example, if the left ear hears 200 hertz and the right ear hears 210 hertz, the brain perceives a 10 hertz beat, even though this frequency does not exist in the actual sound waves themselves. By targeting specific frequencies, Hemi-Sync recordings can guide the brain into alpha, relaxation, theta, or delta, which is deep sleep ranges. What distinguishes Hemi-Sync sounds from simple binaural beat recordings is complexity. A single Hemi-Sync recording may layer multiple binaural frequencies, pink noise, and carefully designed audio signals to produce compound brainwave patterns that target specific states. The technology has been refined over decades based on EEG data from thousands of institute participants. So yeah, that's... No, thank you. As interest grew, in 1977, he renamed his organization the Monroe Institute and moved it to a larger property, offering programs on a variety of specialized topics. Monroe later authored 2 more books on his OBEs titled Far Journeys and Ultimate Journey, describing visiting a non-physical reality, interacting with non-physical entities, and eventually connecting to something called the, quote, I-there. Letter I dash there, which is his term for what most people would call the soul.
Interesting.
Yeah, I dash there.
He's connecting with his soul.
Yep. In his books, he deliberately avoided pre-existing spiritual terms, including astral projection. In Monroe's first and last books, he writes about visiting the park, the hub of what he called the reception center where spirits go after dying to rest and recuperate. This place, the park, appears in the accounts of several people's near-death experiences.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I haven't.
And I've watched a lot of near-death experience
Yep.
stuff. The park.
So he avoided spiritual or religious terms in his books, but he coined many terms. One of them is ROTE, R-O-T-E, which is short for related organized thought energy. Time-space illusion was the universe, and belief system territories were the non-physical realms where people with strong beliefs went after dying to be with others that shared the same beliefs. That's weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
And the way station where the newly dead went was called a reception center. So this is all
Sounds
weird.
very futuristic.
Like Lost. Like the show Lost.
Oh.
You putting your blanket on?
Yeah. Well, it's been on. I'm unfolding it to cover more of myself.
What he called his research team later became known as the Explorers. The combination of Hemi-Sync, the sensory deprivation booth, biomonitoring equipment, and trained monitors guiding the exploratory process all converged to produce a personal growth. So
it does feel very much like if you were watching like a futuristic sci-fi type movie in the 60s.
Yeah.
This is what it would all be.
And they're doing this. They're
very
doing this.
new agey.
Yep. Monitored by Robert Monroe and the research division staff, the explorers report from these non-physical environments and communicate to perceptions. The explorers had to learn to report verbally, no matter how deep the state or how, quote, far out they happened to be, so that Bob could determine what sounds correlated with what experiences. At times, he would have 2 or 3 of them travel together to these other non-physical realities. Sometimes they reported separately, often with amazingly similar details, and sometimes he would open their mics, allowing them to hear each other's perceptions. Another way Bob observed what was going on with each explorer was via the galvanic skin response, or GSR, readouts transmitted to the control room from electrodes they put on each time they climbed into the booths. The GSR gave him a feel for any major changes in the explorer's physical states of relaxation or tension. Not only was this a valuable guide for how they were doing, it also gave him more data about how they were responding to particular sounds he was combining and sending them through the headsets. When it came to labeling what state they were in or where they were being focused, he felt that using numbers was a clean and simple way to identify the states of consciousness. In many instances, it's said that foreign, quote, third parties would enter the experiments to aid the explorers in the understanding of their non-physical worlds. So now they got beings coming in and helping them.
How much is that, like, hallucinations?
I don't know. There are currently 32 taped excerpts in this ongoing research project taken from literally hundreds of hours of lab sessions, and I think you can go and listen to these.
I feel like in a way they're almost inducing like a psychedelic drug experience type state.
That's like some of the binaural beats. They know what binaural beats you could listen to that'll make you feel like you're on cocaine or make you feel like you're on marijuana.
Interesting.
So they know what drugs correlate to what binaural beats.
I guess it's a safer way to experience that, but still.
So Monroe described 3 broad categories of environments encountered during OBEs, which he called locales. Locale number 1 is the physical world perceived from outside the body. You see your room, your house, the physical world as it is, but from a non-physical vantage point. Monroe noted that perception of the physical world from the OBE state was often slightly inaccurate, with clocks showing wrong times, objects not quite where they're supposed to be, which he attributed to the difficulty of the astral body perceiving physical matter. Locale 2 is a vast non-physical environment with no correspondence to the physical world. It's thought responsive. It shifts in response to the experiencer's mental and emotional state. He described it as containing multiple rings or regions, from confused and chaotic areas near the physical to luminous, beautiful regions of higher consciousness. This corresponds with the esoteric traditions called the astral plane. And Locale 3 is perhaps the most intriguing, a parallel physical-like reality with its own consistent geography, inhabitants, technology, and social organization. Monroe visited the same locations within Locale 3 repeatedly, noting consistent details across visits. He even seemed to merge or observe through the eyes of specific inhabitants. The nature of Locale 3 remains one of his most debated aspects of his work. So, he said there's the 3 different areas. The last one, there's different beings there. There's like other beings there. But like you said, it's a lot like a lot of people say that's what hallucinogenic drugs do, is enable you to see these places without having to go through this process of Hemi-Sync.
You're just hallucinating.
Or you're just hallucinating.
I'm not totally closed off to the idea. I'm just saying these are all theories.
Yeah. Monroe's
not real tangible evidence.
It sounds like there is decent evidence though. And
I think you can prove that the brain is reacting a certain way, or that you're having a physiological reaction, but you can't prove that you're actually interacting with beings versus having an hallucination.
Monroe's wife Nancy died in 1992. He described having twice tried to visit her in the afterlife, but was so upset by the experience that he quit OBEs altogether.
Wow.
His physical and mental health deteriorated.
I wonder why. What did he see?
I don't know.
Or was it that he couldn't find her?
It didn't say.
I need more information.
It didn't say. I have his books. I should see if I can find it in a book.
I'm just curious. Like, to quit something you've been working on for decades.
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
His physical and mental health deteriorated, a cause of his estrangement from his daughter, or Leah. That must be his daughter. He died on March 17th, 1995, at the age of 79, having reconciled with her and with his stepdaughter, Lori. So, That's kind of Robert Monroe's life that
Okay.
he did.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is. And
It's fascinating stuff. I just don't want anything to do with it.
No, I don't either. Like binaural beats, nope.
Nope.
Astral projection,
Nah.
nope.
I'd be afraid I couldn't get back in.
No, reading a little bit about astral projection. I don't remember where I was reading. It might have been a website when I was looking into this stuff for this episode, but somebody that's big into astral projection and does it all the time said what's interesting is that when you're in your bed and you astral project, there's a silver cord out of your head that
I've heard
always
of
connects
this.
to the
Yeah.
head. And if that ever gets severed,
You're out there forever.
You're gone.
Yeah, that's scary.
Which is scary. So
I mean, this is all hearsay, but it's scary. The concept of it is
yeah,
really scary.
it is.
So then you're just like floating around in the netherworld.
I don't know. I don't know.
It doesn't sound fun.
No. So the Monroe Institute, and it's out there. I was looking at their website. The Institute's campus includes the Nancy Penn Center, named for Monroe's second wife, which houses individual isolation booths called CHEC, or Controlled Holistic Environmental Chamber Units. I know, it's so sci-fi.
Yeah, very.
Each check unit is an enclosed bed with blackout curtains, headphones, and microphones, allowing participants to listen to Hemi-Sync recordings in complete sensory isolation while communicating their experiences to facilitators.
You know what this kind of reminds me of? All of it.
Flatlines?
Well, like the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say Scientology.
Oh,
How they just make
yeah,
all
but
this
no,
stuff
this
up.
this
I'm
this
just saying,
is
like the
way
weird terminology that they
yeah,
use.
very much so.
And
Very
this is
much
more
so. This is more
scientific and
grounded. This is more
Yes.
grounded in reality than Scientology.
It's just
Sorry,
like-
Scientology people, but
yeah,
you know,
it's just like all the made up
yeah,
terms.
yeah,
and
like
I don't
thetans,
know.
body thetans, and
Yeah.
zoo and all that. Yeah. So some of the key programs at the Monroe Institute include one called Guidelines, advanced program exploring non-physical guidance and communication, one called Lifeline, which is a program focused on assisting non-physical beings in transition, one called Exploration 27, which is deep exploration of non-physical reality systems, and one called MC Squared, which is consciousness for engineers and scientists. The most notable program offered at the Institute is Robert Monroe's original workshop, known as the Gateway Voyage Program.
See, that just sounds so Scientology
know,
to me.
I know.
I know. I'm not comparing the two that
I
way.
know, but it's very
Scientology
much
is
the same,
messed
where
up.
they're making
Yeah,
up their
yeah.
own terms.
And they all sound very futuristic and like
Yep.
kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
This unprecedented expedition into the vast expanse of non-physical dimensions is the Monroe Institute's flagship program and offers comprehensive guidance through direct experiences of altered perception. In the Gateway Voyage, core principles and powerful techniques are integrated with brainwave entrainment exercises to build a solid foundation for advanced consciousness exploration. From the history of it. Because of the burgeoning success of his book, Journeys Out of the Body, Bob was invited to conduct a workshop at Esalen Institute in California. And so it was that his very first program was born. Bob and his engineering friend, Bill Yost, conducted the first of the Monroe Consciousness training programs in 1973 using Bob's special tapes of verbal and audio guidance, now known as the Gateway tapes. This first weekend program, called the M5000, later changed to the Gateway Voyage, offered round-the-clock taped exercises which guided the participants into various states of consciousness. Each tape was an hour long, and other than bathroom breaks, time out for meals, and brief rest periods, the participants were, quote, on tape the entire time. So you're listening to those like constantly, which sounds very culty kind of to me.
Yep.
A typical day
I
includes...
wonder how much you have to pay to do that.
You'll find out.
Okay.
A typical day includes multiple Hemi-Sync sessions, each 30 to 45 minutes, in the check units, interspersed with group discussions where participants share their experiences. A facilitator guides the group, and individual support is available for those who encounter difficulty or intense experiences. So that's kind of scary.
This is sounding more and more like a cult.
The program follows a progressive structure. Days 1 to 2, you establish Focus 10, mind awake, body asleep, learn to navigate comfortably in this state. Days 3 and 4, you progress through Focus 12, which is expanded awareness, and Focus 15, which is no time. Days 5 and 6, you reach Focus 21, which is the bridge, and explore free-form non-physical experiences. Participant outcomes vary widely. Some people achieve full out-of-body experiences during the program. Others experience deep meditation, vivid imagery, or expanded awareness without full separation. That's creepy. I don't even like that term.
Nope. Full separation.
Yeah. The Institute reports that virtually all participants experience states of consciousness distinctly different from ordinary waking or sleeping by the end of the program. So you're kind of guaranteed to experience something. The Institute has conducted countless classes, seminars, and studies illuminating the vast array of conscious experience with the application of Hemi-Sync. They are now offering a variety of enlightening programs that focus on unique facets of consciousness expansion, ranging from online courses to week-long retreats. Some of the available, this first one I would totally go to. Some of the available programs include interspecies communication programs. So I could chat with Lucy. I could have a chat with Lucy.
There you go.
Lucid dreaming intensives, out-of-body experience intensives, near-death experience intensives.
Why would you want that?
I don't know. Remote viewing.
Is that Flatliners?
I don't know. Remote viewing programs, energy body courses, energy medicine courses, sound medicine courses, effortless meditation programs, and law of attraction courses. So I went to their website, and here's kind of what you get at the Virginia campus. When you do this, when you pay for this, you get semi-private room. I don't like semi-private.
Yeah, no. What does that even mean?
Standard accommodations are double occupancy rooms. You get daily meals. Dining menus offer fresh, healthy, and vegetarian options. You get swimming during afternoon breaks. You can have a dip in the swimming pool or the lake. There's shuttle service. Shuttle transportation is included on the first and last days of each program. There's free Wi-Fi. And massages are available during the week-long retreats during afternoon breaks. It is 5 days and 6 nights for $2,695, which isn't as bad as I kind of thought it was going to be.
Money, though.
It's really not. That's how much it would cost to go to London.
Yeah, but the experience is very different.
It is, but I kind of expected it to be way more than that when I was looking. But what impresses me about this is that the Monroe Institute's documentation is all on the Internet Archive. When you go to their website, it says, see our reports and results. Everything is there. They put everything out there. That's really good. Do. And you can look at all the stuff. There's like the training manuals. There's all this stuff out there. So you can look at it.
I find the attachment of the word medical to any of it a little problematic.
I think when I was researching this, I didn't see it as culty, but when I'm reading it out loud, it's kind of culty, Yeah. But
I'd listen to a podcast of somebody who goes through it.
I'm 100% sure that we have listeners that would totally do this in a second. And like I said, the $2,695 for the 5 days, 6 nights stay, I don't think is that bad. I really don't. I'm not going to do it,
yeah.
But I don't. Although
if you're into that and you're not freaked out by it and not worried you're going to come out changed in a weird way or brainwashed or...
You really think it's culty, don't you?
I do. I don't know. When you turn it into a way to make profit, I always start to question it. Especially when they're attaching the word medical to some of this.
Yeah, I guess I get that. But I think that's saying like healing yourself.
People are really into that energy healing and stuff like that, but I don't know.
So, and we kind of got to this in a previous episode, but with all this stuff going on with the Monroe Institute and what they were doing, who do you think was really interested in that?
Whenever you ask me these questions, I'm always like, never close.
Who would be like, out-of-body experiences, what can we do with that?
Out-of-body experiences specifically? Like someone modern or like...
Like all the stuff they're doing.
The Warrens?
The CIA.
Oh, the CIA. See, I went totally down the wrong...
Because the CIA was like, what's going on over here?
So I thought the CIA was into this before this.
They might have been, but once this started going... They had a place where they could go
gotcha.
To do this without having to really hide what they were doing,
Okay.
So this comes from 2 different articles, one from Vice.com called How to Escape the Confines of Time and Space, according to the CIA, and one from thearchitect.global. So I don't know what that site is, but...
I'm guessing it has nothing to do with architecture.
No. So intrigue revolves around a classified... 1983 CIA report on a technique called the Gateway Experience, which is a training program designed to focus brainwave output to alter consciousness and ultimately escape the restrictions of time and space. The CIA was interested in all sorts of psychic research at the time, including the theory and applications of remote viewing, which is when someone can view real events with only the power of their mind. The documents have since been declassified and are now available to view. So from 1978 to 1984, we've talked about this guy too. Army veteran Joseph McMoneagle contributes to 450 remote viewing missions under Project Stargate. This is all back from our remote viewing episode. He is known as remote viewer number 1. On June 9th, 1983, the CIA report called, quote, Analysis and Assessment of the Gateway Process is produced. It provides a scientific framework for understanding and expanding human consciousness, out-of-body experiments, and other altered states of mind. The author of this Gateway Process report is Lieutenant Colonel Wayne McDonnell, hereon referred to simply as Wayne. There isn't a tremendous amount of information available on Wayne, nor any photographs. In 1983, Wayne was tasked by the commander of the U.S. Army Operational Group with figuring out how the Gateway Experience, astral projection, and out-of-body experiences work. Wayne partnered with a bunch of different folks to produce the report, most notably Itzhak Bentov, a very Googleable American-Israeli scientist who helped pioneer the biomedical engineering industry. He classifies it as a, quote, training system designed to bring enhanced strength, focus, and coherence to the amplitude and frequency of brainwave output between the left and right hemispheres so as to alter consciousness. What distinguishes the Gateway process from hypnosis, meditation, and biofeedback is that it requires achieving a state of consciousness in which the electrical brain patterns of both hemispheres are equal in amplitude and frequency. This is called Hemi-Sync. Lamentably, and perhaps conveniently, we cannot as humans achieve this state on our own. The audio techniques developed by Bob Monroe and his institute, which comprise a series of tapes, claims to induce and sustain Hemi-Sync. Wayne employs the analogy of a lamp versus a laser. Left to its own devices, the human mind expands energy like a lamp in a chaotic and incoherent way, achieving lots of diffusion but relatively little depth. Under Hemi-Sync, though, the mind produces a, quote, disciplined stream of light. So once the frequency and amplitude of the brain are rendered coherent, it can then synchronize with the rarefied energy levels of the universe. With this connection intact, the brain begins to receive symbols and display flashes of holistic intuition. That's
I feel like people who are really into meditation would argue that you can achieve it without, you know what I mean? People
meditation, meditation you don't need, but he said that's why it's different than meditation because, well, yeah, you got a point. You have a point. This pattern of the universe conspicuously mirrors the patterns of electrons around the nucleus of an atom. Galaxies north of our own are moving away from us faster than the galaxies to the south. Galaxies to the east and west of us are more distant. The energy that produced the matter that makes up the universe we presently enjoy will turn back in on itself eventually. Its trajectory is ovoid, known as the cosmic egg. As it curls back on itself, it enters a black hole, going through a densely packed energy nucleus and gets spat out the other side of a white hole and begins the process again.
Every once in a while, I make the mistake of thinking too hard about our universe.
Yep.
And then I just become terrified. And
Yep.
and I need to go watch
So
flowers.
this article goes on to say, the entire universe hologram, the torus, represents all the phases of time, the past, present, and future. The takeaway is that human consciousness brought to a sufficiently altered, focused state could obtain information about the past, present, and future, since they all live in the universal hologram simultaneously.
Universal hologram.
Yep.
Okay.
Wayne reasons that our all-reaching consciousness eventually participates in an all-knowing infinite continuum. Long after we leave the space-time dimension and the hologram each one of us perceives is snuffed out, our consciousness does continue. Wayne, and this is in the military report. So, yeah. Wayne expresses concern about the fidelity.
I mean, it doesn't make it legitimate.
No, exactly. Wayne expresses concern about the fidelity of information brought back from out-of-body states using the gateway technique. Practical applications are of particular concern because of the potential for, quote, information distortion. The Monroe Institute also ran into a bunch of issues in which they had individuals travel from the west to the east coast of the U.S. to read a series of numbers off a computer screen. They never got them exactly right. Wayne chalks this up to a trouble of differentiating between physical entities and extra space-time dimensions when in the out-of-body state. Wayne then swings back to support mode, though, lending credence to the physics foundations of the report. Possibly with the CIA top brass audience in mind, Wayne then gives a A-type nod to the Gateway experience for providing a faster, more efficient, less subservient, energy-saving route to expanded consciousness. So then he says, yeah, this works. You know, this could be used for whatever the CIA wants to use it for. Mm-hmm. This finishes with a series of recommendations to the CIA for how to exploit Gateway's potential for national defense purposes. And it contains the frightening advice that the military should, quote, be intellectually prepared to react to possible encounters with intelligent, non-corporeal energy forms when time-space boundaries are exceeded. So that he says that in the report. So right there, it's like, I don't know. The report is a vicious mind labyrinth. For 24 pages, it winds its way through the spiritual and scientific underpinnings, techniques to achieve the potential applications of space-time transcendence. It introduces frames of reference like hypnosis, meditation, spiritual belief systems, biofeedback, quantum physics, and universal holograms only so that its intended audience, the CIA top brass, might merely begin to grasp its bigger reason for being. One curious feature of the Gateway report is that it seems to be missing page 25. It's a real cliffhanger, too. The bottom of page 24 reads, quote, and the eternal thought or concept of self, which results from this self-consciousness, serves the... and it ends. And then it picks up on page 26, 3 sections later.
Huh.
Yeah.
Serves the what?
The gap
I need to know.
The gap has not gone unnoticed. There's a change.org petition requesting its release. Multiple Freedom of Information Act requests have demanded the same. In all cases, the CIA said they never had the page to begin with. And then,
likely story.
And then from an article from Vice magazine from April of 2021 called, quote, found, page 25 of the CIA's Gateway Report on Astral Projection, the article says, 4 days after we published the first article about the Gateway Report, I received a note from the Monroe Institute. They had some ideas for a follow-up piece. Drowning in responses to the article, though, I failed to return their email. They reached out again. This time their message was a little more concrete. Sitting buried in the Monroe Institute archives in Virginia was page 25 of the Gateway Report, but it didn't come to us easily. Our first scheduled phone call included the Monroe Institute's CEO, COO, and marketing division. We got together on a Google Hangout. In that call, the Institute said that they had page 25. People had been trying to obtain the report from the CIA and had repeatedly failed, but no one had bothered to ask the Monroe Institute for the report, and they had it all along. At one point, they described the report as having, quote, been in a barn unexamined for all these years. Otherwise, the call wasn't uninspired. The CEO didn't show. After an hour runaround, it became evident that the Institute was not going to part with page 25 without some carefully orchestrated marketing plan.
What is going on here?
So the Monroe Institute doesn't want to give them page 25 unless there's advertisement or a marketing plan, I guess, which is a little sketchy.
Very sketchy.
The words of COO...
What the funny part is probably nothing.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
The words of COO Lori Jacobwith made their purpose clear, saying, quote, we're attempting to capitalize on some of the enthusiasm by a market that isn't our normal age group.
There we go.
The Institute was trying to tap into the popularity of the first article as well as viral TikToks about the report, because there were TikToks about that page 25 is missing, and the Monroe, the Monroe Institute wants to get...
They want to cash in on it.
Yeah, they want to cash in on it.
Even though it's probably nothing.
Yep. The call ended with them saying, quote, you've touched on some things we are not talking about right now. The Institute then went quiet. Time passed. One evening, the Monroe Institute's Director of Marketing and Communications, Jenny Weedby, emailed again. She'd been silent on our last call. The email contained the full Gateway report, including the missing page. She wrote down that they, quote, just went through a major organization change. The CEO and COO were no longer with the company. She was now down to talk after we had read page 25. So they finally got to read the missing page, And the first word, like remember it said, it ended with "and the eternal thought or concept of self, which results from this self-consciousness serves the," and it ended there. And it turns out that the missing word was the absolute, in capital letters, the absolute. The missing page begins with the word absolute capitalized. This word is significant with its implications of both quantum physics as well as the spiritual beliefs tied into projection. This page describes the absolute as the primary force of energy within our universe, but it is all of that energy and then some. It's the force responsible for powering our entirety in this universe. The report sets the stage by describing our cosmic egg, or universal hologram, as a massive spiral that flows continuously. McDonald further describes how nearly every religion in the history of our planet has incorporated a stylized representation of this absolute, whether it's the Chinese spiral through the four powers, the Hebrew tree of life, the Hindu, the labyrinth described by the Hellenic world, or the Holy Spirit of Christianity. So basically, that's what it said. The manner in which the absolute was found is the defining difference between the conclusion drawn by religious scholars and the developments that have taken place in modern physics. The third portion of the page delves into a common concept in psychology. One cannot possibly access and understand the absolute, or the universe and the cosmic egg, until they first become able to access and acquire knowledge of themselves. Achieving an altered state of consciousness includes an enhanced state of self-perception to become capable of perceiving the universal hologram as well, and this possibility is nearly guaranteed by the gateway experience. After reading it, I called Jenny Weedy back up. She said the Monroe Institute is an organization trying to find its way in an ever-shifting world. She said, quote, "There's a part of this organization that definitely needs to grow, but it needs to grow at a pace that keeps up with the tenets of who we are. The importance of listening to where an organization comes from before deciding on a future was a theme." She said, quote, "If you don't have the input from people who have been here a while, then you're not really staying true to what the Institute is." She said the programs are grueling. Participants go through 5 or 6 exercises a day for 5 straight days. It's like running a marathon, she said. She joined the company without much experience in consciousness elevation, but swiftly got the feel for things. She said, quote, "It did exactly what the course said it was going to do. I experienced past lives. It gave me this 20,000 foot tall view of my life, not just this one, but previous and future."
I like the idea of exploring past lives.
I do too.
If it's a thing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I believe in it, but
yeah. She says
I
if
love
you
the
want
idea.
if you want the rocket ship where your life is forever enlightened, you're not going to get that anywhere other than coming here. The conversation with her then turned to page 25. She said, quote, "I have my own ideas. Whether it was accidentally or intentionally left out, I don't know. Like I said, there are people that work in this place that are on another plane and not necessarily here in the physical." And I agree with this. I totally agree with this. Jenny said that the page appeared at the right time and place. She says, quote, "I feel like 20 years ago, the world wasn't ready to hear this, but this generation is ready." Like
Sure.
the whole idea about the absolute and that all the religions basically point towards this one
same thing.
eternal consciousness. Like in 1983, that would have been a lot for people to hear.
sure.
You know, I was 13
been
and
very
the world
woo-woo.
the world was like a totally different place.
Oh,
And
yeah.
now people would hear that and be like, "Oh yeah, I can see that." So I do think that the page was left out, but I also don't think it's
Not
anything
that
revolutionary.
groundbreaking.
Jenny said that young people today are pushing for social justice and are more open to different perceptions of consciousness and different ways of living. She said, quote, "There's this whole thing going on where people are awakening. People are becoming more conscious. People are becoming more awakened, tearing down the monuments in Richmond." I wonder if that's, like the Confederate stuff. Enough's enough. This has come at a time when your generation has questions they want to know and they're ready to hear the answers without judgment. TikTok happened. You happened. All this happened for a very important reason that's not part of this physical plane. She concluded our hour-long conversation with a suggestion for how to handle page 25. She said, quote, "Do something with it, even if it's you just saying what it means to you." The Monroe Institute's chief engineer today is Bob Holbrook. A former events producer, he believes the Monroe Institute's audio offerings helped him rehab from serious head trauma sustained in a brutal car accident. The Hemi-Sync technology featured in the Gateway report was sold to a company that's now called Hemi-Sync. The audio technology stack the Institute now produces, collectively called Monroe Audio Support, is a hugely evolved version of the original binaural beats-based technique. As Bob puts it, quote, binaural beats was just one technology. Now we have 50. This widens and populates the spectrum of experience for participants. MAS takes the ideal of binaural beats and utilizes many other, quote, colors and technologies to create more intense experiences in different levels of consciousness. A key ingredient is called gamma synchrony. It allows us to connect much more easily to, quote, all that is. 2 additional innovations play a central role: phase modulation and amplitude modulation. Phase modulation changes the direction in which a sound feels like it's coming from. So that's crazy. In 2003, the CIA approved declassification of the 1983 Gateway Process Report. And in 2017, the CIA declassifies 12 million pages of records, revealing previously unknown details about the program, which would eventually become known as Project Stargate. So that's the CIA kind of getting involved with the Gateway stuff. So what do you think of all this so far?
I've been thinking about the fact that, like, the older I get, I feel like I'm still very open-minded, but I'm a lot more skeptical and even cynical to an extent. Like, if we were sitting across from each other 15, 20 years ago, my take on this would be very different.
Yeah.
I was very new, I was a noob in this world, and I probably would have been like, ooh, let's do this. Maybe I don't even think I would have heard of binaural beats yet. And I probably would have been like, oh, I want to do this. I don't have $2,000 at that age, and now I'm just like, so I'm fascinated by the idea of being able to influence your mind, because the brain is a vast, fascinating thing that we haven't even scratched the surface on. We're not done yet.
We got two more little rabbit holes to venture down.
Yeah, I mean, so far I'm fascinated by the concepts. It's just it gets a little too, I don't know, woo-woo
what you said was like right on. Like even when we started this podcast 10 years ago, I would have been in a different place.
Yeah, for sure.
With this.
I'd be more open to less cynical or even suspicious of some of it.
I feel like you're more cynical of this than I am. Like, I think this is a genuine thing. Whether they're experiencing an otherworldly presence or whether they're hallucinating.
Yes,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But I do think it's a thing, and while it does seem culty,
I think it's a thing too.
Yeah, while it does seem culty, I guess I think it's fascinating.
Part of me just thinks it's not as scientific as it's coming across. Even, I mean, these are all still just theories.
Oh yeah, but now this next part, this is where I'm super interested in this. And this comes into episode we did not too long ago about the strange stuff going on in the GATE gifted and talented education programs.
By the way, we still get comments.
Yeah.
On that YouTube video.
Yeah.
And people keep coming across it. And on Instagram, we still get the random, I just found this and I had an experience with this.
And like, I'm on the subreddit all the time. Like, I'm fascinated with this thing. And I'll get to a little more of that after this, but my thing is like, all right, say this did happen. Why have no teachers come forward that were like, oh yeah, it was weird that these people I didn't know came in and wanted to take them? Like, none of the teachers have said that.
Especially if they're retired now.
Yeah.
Like, I could understand them not talking about it at the time.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, maybe they had to sign like non-disclosure type stuff.
It's possible. That's very possible. But it turns out, and I knew this when I was doing the original episode, but I didn't really
anonymously that you would expect someone to come out.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, sorry.
I didn't get into this in that episode, but the whole weird gate stuff involves the gateway tapes a lot.
Okay.
And it's not...
It makes sense.
It's not... Like, people that are convinced that I went through gate and there was nothing weird, but they remember these tapes. So this is interesting. This is where you're going to be playing a sound clip in a little bit. So somebody on Reddit, this all comes from Reddit because where else are people talking about this? Somebody on Reddit writes, quote, okay, so I made a post previously where I mentioned that listening to the Gateway tapes didn't spark anything in me as far as the Gate program in the way that seeing the Zener cards did, or Zener cards, the ESP cards, which was a panic reaction, stomach dropping, etc. Now I stand corrected. When I went to listen to the tapes the first time, I kind of just found a few on YouTube and listened to the first intro tape, which is just Bob Monroe talking. I was like, okay, sounds like your run-of-the-mill spiritual meditation tape. I've heard millions of these in my life, so it didn't cause any kind of response. For the different waves and tracks, I just clicked on them and skipped to different parts around and listened to a sentence or two, and nothing jumped out at me. I understand that listening to the tapes in their entirety would take like dozens of hours to do, and I don't particularly want to do that, LOL. My dreams can be quite frightening and distressing as it is, and I often scare myself out of falling asleep or wake with a start while in the hypnagogic state. I don't really want to purposely induce that, haha. I've also tried many times to lucid dream or astral project, and I found myself in sleep paralysis every time, so it's something I kind of swore off a few years ago. Just not for me at this time, and my dream worlds are already vivid enough that I'm content with just that, haha. Okay, gotta take my pill.
I feel that. I wouldn't want to do anything that I thought would trigger a sleep paralysis episode.
I don't ever want that.
Oh, it's not fun. It's been a very long time for me. Knock on wood.
But I just hate that everything can get written off as sleep paralysis.
I do too, and I think that's fair. As someone who always poo-pooed anything and just called it sleep paralysis, I've stopped doing that because I don't know what people are experiencing. Yep. I'm not there.
So this person says that they went through Gate and they heard that these were involved in it, and they listened to bits and pieces, and they're like, whatever. And then he continues saying, but then I heard a clip of that beeping crap that happens at the beginning of the first track in each wave, with the quote, "This is the first step along your path to a gateway" intro, and I had an absolute panic response. Absolute nope, no way, absolutely not. The first couple times I've heard that little clip on little videos online, I had to swipe away really fast after like the first microsecond, but I've been trying to let that part play out until that beeping stops to try and lessen the response to see if I can remember anything. My heart completely pounds every single time the beeping starts, the whole time. It freaks me the hell out. I don't know why. Because it just sounds to me like some weird 60s sci-fi noises that just aren't unique. But something about that sound is absolutely...
Are we going to play that?
Yes.
Okay.
Something about that sound is absolutely terror-inducing to me. The rest of the tracks are just a lot of white noise and ocean sounds, which really doesn't freak me out because I already listen to subliminal tapes or even just regular white noise when I sleep. But the beeping, dude, the beeping. Anyone else? I can't remember anything. I don't know why this beeping scares me so much. So I have the beeping sound. So the thing is, like, if you are my age or around my age and you watched cartoons when you were a kid, CBS used to have this thing called In the News that would air on commercials.
Beep, beep, beep,
and it would start with this. This sounds,
Yeah.
but the first time I listened to this, I'm like, that's the sound from the beginning of
Like
In
a
the
news
News.
bulletin.
Yeah,
kinda,
it's like a very 70s,
old-timey.
but it sounds so much like the In the News thing that it's a little weird. And there's conspiracy people that think that was
they were
purposely
using that?
they were using that as the intro to In the News, so that if kids were going through this gateway thing and Gate, that they would hone in on what was going on in the news for some reason. But I was never really on board with that. But we're just going to play. We're going to play the beeping part, and then like the first 20 seconds of one. These gateway tapes are all on YouTube, so you can go and listen to these. I thought about putting a binaural sound in here so people could hear what that sounded like, but then they would have to be listening through headphones. So I didn't. But this is the beginning of the gateway tape. This has the beeping, and we're going to get into a lot more responses from Reddit about this beeping sound triggering people.
I think you can find binaural beats on YouTube too. So if
So
people are really curious.
After we listen to this, we're going to get into a couple, like, more Reddit responses about this beeping sound. It doesn't freak me out. It reminds me of the In the News beginning, but apparently this freaks a lot of people out.
This is the first step along your path to a gateway beyond which is discovery, your own discovery of reality, of truth, of who and what you are.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is.
That's actually not what I was expecting it to sound like.
No, and to me, it's like the beginning of In the News.
I can see that,
like,
how that would mess with people.
Yeah.
But you're talking about people, it freaks them out because they've heard it before.
Yeah.
They have some kind of subconscious memory of it.
And a lot of people, I don't know if I have any of the comments in here, but a lot of people have that same reaction from his voice. Like something was done to them, to these tapes.
Yeah.
when they were
This
in the
is
GATE
buried
program.
in some subconscious
Yeah.
memory somewhere.
So some more Reddit stuff. Somebody writes, I also had a visceral response to the beeping. I love this. I love these words for some reason. I also had a visceral response to the beeping. For me, it was like a negative nostalgia,
oh, yeah.
which is an interesting term. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Somebody else responded, panic, same. It's 100% fight or flight response. Somebody else writes, this is where I started my deep dive into this rabbit hole. Hearing those beeps made my stomach drop and I instantly felt nauseous and sick. I had that horrible blood rush feeling, just a visceral fear response where there shouldn't have been one. Somebody else said, I tried to listen to the beeps again. The instant I heard it, I felt like I was going to die. I wanted to vomit. I ripped my earbud out and threw it down to the ground. I never want to feel that way again. I'm thankful that I'm not alone and that others understand. Somebody else said, I appreciate reading this because I had the same response to the beeping and I get this bad feeling with these tapes. I tried them anyway and got through a few of them, but couldn't shake off the feeling they gave me, and alarm bells in my head started going off, so I stopped and haven't tried since. Somebody else said, I have tried so many times to listen to these, and it's just an absolute no-go for me. It's part triggering flashbacks and part knowing it's a hypnotic process. I do not want anyone to have that level of control over me in a meditative state, so I'm not going to follow anyone's active instructions or voice or programmed sounds. Mm-hmm. Somebody else said, too much history of being under others' control and knowing that program triggers exist has left me feeling extra careful. That man's voice just gives me a flesh-crawling discomfort too. I know I've heard the tapes before at some point in my life during the GATE program, but those memories are difficult for me to access. I won't go there again. Many people remember this. I'm certain the tapes were used in my GATE program and called a hearing test. And hearing tests were a big thing in the GATE weirdness. Mm. And a lot of people think that the hearing test was them actually listening to these tapes. Somebody else says,
I remember having actual hearing tests.
Yeah, yep. Somebody else said, I first became interested in the GATE discussions because in general, I have very detailed memories of childhood. I can tell you what my teachers were helping me with. I'm on the autistic spectrum, by the way. Given the vividness of so many of my early memories, it jumped out to me that my tag experiences were so blurry. A few nights ago, I found a link to the free YouTube versions of the Monroe Gateway tapes that somebody had shared over in the Retconned subreddit. So I gave the first one a listen, and it immediately felt so familiar. I had no conscious memories of listening to that Monroe tape, but I am now 100% certain that I've heard it before. His voice, the tones, and especially some of the phrases he used came back. The way he says the words, "we'll wait," and the way he introduces counting down. It's so damn eerie. I'm nearly 50 and pulling up this memory for the first time since the 80s. Our TAG program was in the school library, and I now have strong impressions of being towards the front part of the library at a desk blocked off on 3 sides, like a booth, listening to that Monroe tape. Different spots than where I did the hearing test. The impressions feel fuzzy, like I'm trying to look through water.
Not saying I'm gifted or talented, but I feel like having gone to a Catholic school at that age, that wouldn't have been a risk for me.
Yep.
Or anyone at my school.
Yep. Somebody else said, I just started the tapes a few months ago, but a part of me was like, no way they would have had kids do this. So I thought I would try. I started the tapes, and immediately I was like, this is 100% what I did. Why the heck would I have done this in 2nd grade? I went in with an open mind, and it was amazing. So I'm having a weird time with them. It feels like coming home. It's a little scary at first, but I pushed through it. And somebody says, I'm a moderator of the Gateway Tapes subreddit. The tapes that are available are not the ones used by the CIA. The ones used today are the commercial tapes used by the Monroe Institute. The CIA version of the Monroe tapes were very different from what we have been told by the people in Project Stargate.
It kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I strongly suggest that people not let their imaginations run away with them as far as the Monroe tapes. There is already a lot of misconceptions. They were never developed for the CIA. They were created for people in the 70s for consciousness exploration and were used by the Monroe Institute. Another thing is about the audio is that it was used in remote viewing and intuition. I believe that the early versions, I'm 100% getting on board with this. I believe that especially in the early versions of the GATE program, they were looking for intuitive and psychic kids. I'm not sure if they used the Monroe audio or just were using the CIA audio, but don't try to conflate everything together. We don't know what this all means.
I like that. That's a voice of reason right there.
And then this is interesting. The Plymouth Institute for Peace Research website says, quote, in 1988, the Department of Education published a report by the Committee on Techniques for the Enhancement of Human Performance. John A. Sweats was committee chair at the time. The CIA said that the report was commissioned for the U.S. Army. On Hemi-Sync, the report says, quote, "It is claimed that by altering sound patterns, it's possible to alter states of awareness. Stated applications are in the area of language learning, stress management." Oh, my God. On Hemi-Sync, the report says, quote, "It is claimed that by altering sound patterns, it is possible to alter states of awareness. Stated applications are in the areas of language learning, stress management, reading skills, and creativity and problem solving." It adds that Hemi-Sync covered, quote, "education," such as a 77.8% of a class reported improvement in mental and motor skills, health, early recuperation, lower blood pressure, psychotherapy, stress reduction, working with terminally ill patients, and teaching autistic children. And then the person that wrote this article says education and autistic children. This is proof that the military and intelligence-linked Hemi-Sync program has been used on minors. And that makes sense because if they're reporting that had this effect on kids, they used the stuff on kids.
This is very Stranger Things.
Yeah, so it is very strange. That's where Stranger Things came from. But it's fascinating to me that people that don't even think there was any weirdness in the GATE program remember listening to these tapes. So why would they have people listen to these tapes that are specifically for astral projection? And I am, I don't remember what I even said in that episode, but I'm pretty convinced that part of the GATE program was to find kids that were, because at the I listened to the Swerve podcast that he did about GATE. I love the Swerve podcast, but the guy said at the time, like people in Russia, like high people in Russia were experimenting with psychic stuff and psychokinesis and astral projection, and people in China, like bigwigs in China. So we had to do that too. And what better group of people to focus on are kids that like we always talk about how kids can see ghosts better because they haven't been told that they can't see ghosts. So what better people to test this on than kids? And with kids in the GATE program, you can kind of behind the scenes influence where they go in life, you know? So I'm kind of convinced now that the GATE stuff was partly, not entirely. And I don't think every GATE program did this. I think just a select few maybe did this, and the rest were like control groups. But I do think they were involved somehow with
I totally can buy that.
Getting kids. But a lot of people tie in the Monroe, the Gateway tapes with the GATE stuff. And they said it's even weird that it's called GATE. Like, this is all called GATE. The Gateway Voyage, and then there's Project Stargate, and then there's GATE here. So it's all like tied. And we're just about done. This is the fascinating. This is pretty crazy. I've touched on this, mentioning it during some of the other podcasts, but this is the prison planet theory.
Prison planet.
And this was put forward. It comes from the Sovereign Soul Sessions website. Oh, probably stole it from Strange Sessions. Loosh, Loosh, is a term coined by Robert Monroe, a pioneer in out-of-body experiences and astral projection, in his book titled Far Journeys. Monroe describes Loosh as a form of emotional or energetic sustenance harvested. Monroe described Loosh as a form of emotional or energetic sustenance harvested from living beings, especially humans, through their emotional experiences. According to Monroe, intense emotions like fear, pain, love, and even spiritual ecstasy produce high-quality loosh, which is gathered by higher dimensional entities or overseers of this reality.
Yeah.
While Monroe's experiences were framed more neutrally, many who researched the reincarnation trap or matrix control system believe that loosh is the primary reason for human suffering and reincarnation. So who or what harvests loosh? This leads to the bigger question, who benefits from loosh? Different theories suggest archonic forces, as mentioned in Gnostic texts. These beings thrive on human suffering and manipulate reality to keep us in cycles of emotional turmoil.
That sounds demonic.
Matrix overlords or architects, as referenced by modern thinkers like David Icke, Tony Sayers, and Howdy McCoskey. These are entities or consciousness systems that created this reality as a prison planet to harvest loosh.
So a simulation.
Yeah, basically, yeah. higher dimensional beings. In Monroe's writings, these beings weren't necessarily evil, but saw Loosh as a necessary energy resource. Regardless of what framework you believe in, the common theme is that this construct operates as a Loosh farm where emotional experiences fuel something beyond our understanding.
How do you think I feel about all this, Kurt? I'm barely containing my skepticism.
So if
It's
Loosh
very
is the emotional
loose way.
energy harvested during life, then the reincarnation cycle ensures that supply
Where does
remains
it go?
steady.
Is
These
it?
beings eat it.
Oh, it's being.
Here's how the cycle works. You live a life full of emotional highs and lows, generating Loosh. At death, you're met by familiar guides, loved ones, or even a life review encouraging you to reincarnate. Oh boy. At death, you're met by familiar guides, loved ones, or even a life review encouraging you to reincarnate to, quote, learn lessons. By agreeing to be reincarnated, you re-enter the system, creating more Loosh to be harvested. This cycle, often described as the reincarnation soul trap, ensures that souls remain within the matrix, continually producing Loosh lifetime after lifetime. Can you stop producing Loosh and break free? The key to breaking free may lie in emotional sovereignty. Emotional reactions, especially fear, anger, and despair, are said to be prime Loosh generators. By becoming conscious of your emotional responses, observing rather than reacting, and refusing to engage, and this I agree with, refusing to engage in fear-based programming. I think the news is fear-based programming.
That's why I don't watch it.
Yeah. You can begin then to starve the system. In addition, preparing for the death transition, knowing what to expect, resisting external influences like guides or the, quote, light, and reclaiming your sovereignty may prevent you from being recycled back into the farm system. Recognizing the concept of Loosh shifts the narrative. Life is no longer just about learning lessons or spiritual growth. It becomes about recognizing manipulation and reclaiming your power. By understanding that emotional energy might be harvested, you can begin to detach from the triggers that feed the system and instead focus on cultivating internal peace and conscious choice.
It feels like we're talking about social media, too.
The idea of Loosh challenges everything we've been taught about the purpose of life, suffering, and spiritual growth. But if we are indeed living in a matrix designed to harvest our emotional energy, awareness is the first step to breaking free. Stay conscious, observe your emotions, and reclaim your sovereignty. So the prison planet theory is that we are a farm. We're basically a farm created by, like an ant farm, created by something that lives off of our extreme energy, like our negative energy, our super positive energy, and that when you die and go towards the light is actually you being reincarnated back into the Loosh farm to make more Loosh for whatever is eating our Loosh. So
there's a lot of parallels there just to like life.
But the one thing I will say on this is that I totally agree with the fear. We're kept in a constant fear cycle.
Absolutely.
We are. I mean, I'm convinced that we are, for some reason. It doesn't have to be Loosh. It can just be that we're easier to control
if we're scared.
But this is a big thing with the woo-woo people, is this idea of Loosh.
Huh. I've never heard of this.
Yeah. So Loosh is your
It's a little too woo-woo.
your extreme.
There's a great message there.
There is.
I'm not sure I believe any of that, but
all these people that are really into this are saying when you die, don't go towards the light because the light is being reincarnated to be Looshed. If you don't go towards the light, you break free.
Sounds like something Satan would say.
It does,
doesn't it?
It does. So I don't know. I've been giving a lot of Loosh like kicking out a lot of Loosh lately with not feeling good and all that. That's the only part of this that I
believe in energy.
I really buy that we are for some reason kept in a constant state of highs and lows for some reason.
When they can show that different news outlets across the country are providing the same exact news word for word, tells you something. Yeah. And it's all fear-based.
One of the sites, there's some wackadoo sites about this, but one of the sites I was reading like tied this in with child pornography and child porn, saying that it's like the big evil, but at the same time, the media glorifies teenagers being sexually enticing.
Yes, 100%.
You know, it's like the media pushes it on you, but when you accept it, you're bad. So it's like this. It's like feeding itself. You know, kicking up the Loosh.
Yeah.
So but that's Monroe is the one that started the idea of Loosh, but he said he didn't have it as being bad. He just said that these beings, the absolute or whatever, like feeds off of our energy, both good and bad. But these other people like turned it into almost like an energy vampire thing, sucking. And for Robert Monroe, it wasn't bad, but other people have co-opted it and made it bad. So just want to end this with this. A reporter for The Hook weekly newspaper from Charlottesville, Virginia, visited the Monroe Institute and said, quote, with a few exceptions, the only normal people who I could fully identify with were the trainers, who seemed remarkably well-grounded for people whose day-to-day experiences included astral projection and disembodied spirits. The reporter also concluded that, quote, there is something significant being developed at the Institute. Whether it's just a brilliant guided meditation complete with trance-inducing stereoscopic sound or a doorway to a world of spirit entities, I cannot say. So we'll end with that. So that is Robert Monroe and all the various little rabbit holes you have to go down. And the Monroe Institute has a website. You can go check out their programs. I did, so now God knows what kind of targeted ads
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm going to get. I kind of want to go for the one where you can speak with animals.
It's all very interesting. It's all very fascinating.
It is interesting, but like you said, the older I get, the less I'm inclined to believe this. You know, and it's like, okay, it's $2,695 for the Gateway program, and it's like, is that a money grift, or you're also getting like a 5-day, 6-night stay somewhere
with meals included and access to a pool?
Access to a pool.
It's like a really expensive hotel
where you listen to binaural
that
beats
you
all
have
the
a
time.
roommate.
But people,
the roommate part would bother me.
I didn't put it in here, but there's a lot of people that have posted that went there and have experienced stuff and said it opened up so many.
I also think
areas
those
of
people
their
were
mind.
already open to it as well.
So
we'd have a very different experience.
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think about this whole thing?
I
What
mean,
time are we looking at?
An hour and 38 minutes.
That's not bad.
No. I mean, yeah, I believe that you can manipulate your brain with external influences for sure, or stimuli.
Yeah.
It's just all the explanations around it. It got very sci-fi-y.
Yeah. It started out pretty grounded, and then it was like the astral projection, which I guess I can get because people supposedly can do that.
Yep.
You know, but then it went into the different planes of astral, you know, with the...
And now we live in a hologram, I don't know.
It went into the CIA stuff.
Yeah, which I mean, they've done some
because of course the CIA
questionable
are going to be interested
stuff.
in
Of course
that.
they
have.
Yeah.
And it went into the
I believe that.
It went into the absolute, and then, the stuff with the Loosh, that we're a prison planet, or we're cattle on a farm, a Loosh farm.
It's when people present this stuff as though it's fact, rather than a theory.
Yeah.
These are all just theories. They are not facts.
The thing to me in here that interests me the most is the Gate stuff, the Gate program stuff, because I'm really convinced that there was something going on.
Yeah.
Like they wanted to find out what kids had psychic powers and which ones didn't.
I would say that's a good next episode to listen to. If you're someone who jumps around.
Yeah, if you've never listened to our
go
Gate,
listen to that
two,
one.
there's two. There's like the
it's
first
part
part
one
and
and
then the
part
second
two.
part with the theories.
Yeah, a lot of people are impacted by that episode. It's interesting.
Yeah. But then like oh God, I can't remember what he called it. The guy that does the Swerve podcast, there's a name for it where when people, you come to a Reddit subreddit where people are talking about their experiences in the Gate program, you'll start to think that you were part of it even if you weren't.
Yes.
You know, so
we did
who
have
knows?
a rather harsh comment on YouTube from someone who's like, everybody needs to stop thinking they're special and that they were involved in this program. You just want attention. And that's true.
It's true.
That's true.
You know.
I'm sure some of those comments on Reddit were from people who have no reaction to those tapes. They just want a reaction to the comment that they made.
Exactly.
But I don't want to discount people who maybe did go through something
because there's
traumatic.
people that swear that nothing weird happened to them, but they do remember listening to the Monroe tapes, and they said it doesn't freak them out, but now it's making them wonder, like, why were we listening to these about astral projection?
Weird.
It is weird. So there you go. There is Robert Monroe and all that stuff. I would not have had time for Wilhelm Reich.
Oh, yeah, that's a totally
but
separate episode.
They would have been really good being together because he also has institutes out there where people study his orgone energy, where orgone energy is orgasm energy.
Yeah. You said it had to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they would have been good together, like complement each other with their institutes. But if you want to look into this stuff, like I said, the Internet Archive has all of the Monroe Institute's reports and everything out there. You can go to their website. You can take a
that
course
you
there and
know
let us
of.
know how it is.
I mean, we don't know that everything is out there.
Oh yeah, no, we don't. But they're pretty transparent about stuff. It
Yeah.
seems like to me. But if you want, we should have taken our podcast money and did a
Could have.
session
One of us
at the-
could have gone
at
through.
the Monroe Institute.
Yeah.
No way.
Or pay for one of our listeners to do it.
Yeah, because I don't want to do that. I'm sure we have listeners that totally would too.
Too bad we split the last of the money that was in
Yeah,
the...
we did. We just split the last of the podcast money.
I mean, there's still some stuff in there just for any incidental.
I'm gonna keep it. I'm
podcast
gonna keep it though
expenses.
where it is in PayPal, because I don't know what it's gonna, when I get stranged and confused running. I don't know what it's gonna take to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But there you go. I'm pooped now. That was kind of a lot in this episode,
Yeah,
wasn't
it was a mind bender for
That
sure.
was. But check out binaural beats if you want. It's just I don't want to. Mm-hmm. Freaks me out. And totally what that one person said in that Reddit comment, like I totally think reflected how you and I feel that. Oh my gosh, where is it here? That they don't like the idea of somebody, of anything affecting, like influencing their mind.
Yeah.
And it's, right here. I don't want anyone else to have any level of control over me in any meditative state, so I'm not going to follow anyone's instructions or voice or program sounds into such a state. So that's totally you and I.
I've definitely listened to guided meditations.
Yeah.
But I also have a really hard time meditating.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I never get anywhere with it.
No, I've tried to, and you and I are closed-minded that way.
But also my mind just never shuts off.
No, mine doesn't either. Mine does not either.
Oh my gosh.
And that's why waking up, I start thinking, I'm up.
That's the end of it.
Yep. So there you go, Robert Monroe. A little bit of everything in this episode. Let us know what you guys think. Mm-hmm. Break it up into chunks, because we're not going to be releasing an episode in 2 weeks, so you have a lot of time to listen to this. Maybe go back and re-listen to it. I had to edit out a lot of me stumbling over words in this one, and I hope we got everything with your Audacity.
Yeah, that was weird.
there.
I guess we didn't say that. When I hit stop to insert the that audio,
The beeping.
I got a message that some audio was lost, but it says at the marked places.
And we
but
didn't see any.
Yeah, scanning through, I didn't see any.
So I'm going to edit it anyway.
Hopefully, a whole chunk isn't missing.
The whole episode is missing. But let us know. Did the
It's
sound?
probably when you said what was on page 25.
Maybe they took it out. Let us know if the beeping triggered anything
Yeah.
in you. It's very trippy and 70s to me, but it reminds me of
Yeah.
go on YouTube and watch the In the News opening, and it's the same bleep, 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 bleep.
Okay.
It's almost exactly the same. So let us know what you think of this. Let us know if you would take a class at the Monroe Institute. If you do, let us know how it
Yeah, I want to
goes.
report.
Astral, visit us when we're doing the next episode. Let us know
Yeah.
how it's going. So, Deets, you can email us at thestrangesessions@gmail.com. Oh, there was one day I got an email saying, not using since you haven't had any messages to your phone, your Google phone, it's been deleted. And I was like, what? And I went and I reapplied for that same number. We got the
okay.
same number now.
Okay,
So
good.
we're good now. Email at thestrangesessions@gmail.com. We are on Instagram, where Krista does a great job. We love our Instagrammers at The Strange Sessions. You can send postcards and snail mail. We haven't gotten anything in a while. To The Strange Sessions. I checked yesterday. The Strange Sessions, P.O. Box 434, Manitowoc, Wisconsin, 54221-0434. You can call our lonely, newly established phone line at 920-443-9602. You can send listener stories to the Strange Sessions Stories at gmail.com, and we will always accept your loosh. So send us any loosh you have. And I think that's it for this
Okay.
episode.
That was a deep
That was
one.
a mind bender.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Like you said, it started out pretty grounded and a little weird with
Yeah.
the astral projection,
Yeah.
but then it went from there into some heavy weirdness.
Yep.
Some high strangeness.
High strangeness.
On that note,
Speaking of, the Newkirks experiment a lot with remote viewing, but they do it in their, I think it's their museum, like it's for the paid
extra?
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we're close to Hellier 3.
They
Keep dropping hints about that, and I get a
Hellier
little
3.
giddy when I think about it. Like,
Yeah.
I can't wait for Hellier 3.
Yep. I watched the movie Good Boy with the dog.
Oh, is it good? Oh yeah, you sent
I
me the
expected
link.
it to be
Okay.
better.
Okay.
I don't want to say anything here. It's got its moments, but it's kind of not what I expected it to
I
be.
immediately said, "Is the dog okay?"
Yeah,
Dog's
so
okay.
it's basically a paranormal film from a dog's point of view, where he's trying to protect his owner. But it's not kind of what you think it's going to be. A lot of people were disappointed.
Okay.
A lot of people said there was a really good idea there, but
And it wasn't
It was no.
executed
It's
that
one of
way?
those movies that I was thinking about the day after, and I was like, wow, I don't want to. Are you
Give it
going to
away?
watch it? Do you think?
I don't know. Well, one of our listeners might.
Yeah. So I don't want to say anything.
Yeah. So your advice is going without any expectations. Maybe you'll enjoy
go in,
it more.
don't thinking it's going to be this is a super scary. It's more of a. It's about something, but I won't get into what it's about. But it was okay.
What is the name of the movie?
Good boy.
Good boy.
Yeah,
Aw.
that dog is freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
Well trained.
yeah, like it wasn't CGI. I mean, it was the
Mm-hmm.
dog reacting to stuff. And then I guess people said like the best thing is after the end credits, they show like the dog being trained to do certain things.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's not on the Hulu version of
okay.
the film. But that is like the most amazing dog ever
Hmm.
to do all this stuff.
Is it a golden?
I don't remember what kind it is. But yeah, if you watch that, let us know what you think. I'm going to clean my apartment today, and I'm going to put on some movie because every Saturday night used to be my pizza and a movie night, and I just haven't watched movies lately. I sit there and scroll on my phone, and I'm going to watch a movie. I'm going to find a movie tonight to watch, and that was me hitting this.
Okay.
So I'm going to do that. And happy Mother's Day
Yeah. Happy Mother's
to
Day
all
to
you
all our
mothers,
moms.
to all you mothers out there.
Yeah, this is coming out on Mother's Day.
This is coming out on Mother's Day. I'm not working tomorrow, but I'll still try to get it out early.
Okay.
Because now I'm kind of used to doing that.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. Now
All
I'm
right.
just rambling. So I think we will be back, not in 2 weeks,
Yeah.
in 4 weeks.
June 7th will be the
June
next
7th,
episode.
we will be back with Ritual Games and Chaos Magic. Ritual Games, I know we talked
I'm
about.
excited about
We
that,
talked about
actually.
them a different. I remember the one with the dolls. We talked about the one with the dolls
yeah,
and
yeah.
the mirrors. So
Yeah.
there's going to be some of those. There's the
Okay.
elevator one. So
Okay.
we'll just talk about some of those, and then I got to figure out what Chaos Magic is and go from there. But we will
Awesome.
see you guys in 4 weeks. Until then, have a great Mother's Day. Have a great Memorial Day. Mm-hmm. And until next time, stay strange.
Hello.
Hi. Are we recording?
We are. Let me check the audio quick before I forget. And we're back. This
We're
is
back.
now the after show.
Yeah.
We recorded
This is
before the show, but it's
Yep.
actually the
No, it's
after
not-
show.
Now it's the after show banter.
Ugh, it's the before the show, after the show banter.
This one could be short. This one might be long. I don't know what
Oh,
this one's
wow.
gonna be.
Okay. It's a crapshoot.
It is a crapshoot.
I can say crap because this is the extra stuff.
Yes, you can. Pretty sure they can say crap on TV.
Probably. Oh, they say a lot worse than that on TV now.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Okay, let me see.
Gotta post our things to the socials.
Okay. Yes, that's what I'm doing. Is that today? You gave a thumbs up in the picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Next.
We are
Next.
in the running for our
Recording.
final season here.
It's crazy. It's crazy that actually the next time we get together, it'll be June. Or very close to. It'll be almost to June. No, it'll be
Yeah.
June. Because we have Memorial Day weekend off. And then
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
not recording the following weekend because that's an off weekend.
Memorial Day
So
weekend.
we'll be halfway through the year the next time we record already.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
That is insane. That really is. Yeah, we have, because the
What
23rd is 23rd? Is the 25th Memorial Day?
Yeah.
I think
So
I
we're
have to
off that
work.
weekend.
I think I got to work that day because I think I was off that last year. But yeah, so then the 23rd, we're not recording. We're taking that weekend off.
And the weekends around it are just off weekends. So then we don't come back.
Like
Okay.
June.
So June 5th, 6th.
Yeah.
June 6th will
So
be,
the episode will come out the 7th.
wow, halfway through the year.
Halfway through the year.
Bonkers.
That doesn't seem right, though, because we're 12. This is only the 6th episode.
I know.
Why doesn't that seem right?
We have quite a, there's some stretches where we don't take any time off.
Yeah. Because if we get to 20, I feel like we should be halfway through the year at 10. Oh, we're not halfway through the recording season because we didn't start recording until...
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're halfway through the year.
I know. We have it all mapped out. I mean...
We do. Next
we're
episode...
we're a little behind and you're switching things
yeah,
up. But
next episode will be...
I think all of September, we have nothing on the calendar, so we can fit something in there.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Next episode, I think, is Ritual, like the Ritual
Oh,
games.
Chaos
and
Magic?
Chaos
Okay.
Magic, whatever that is.
Well, we'll find out, I guess.
Yeah, we will.
Okay, The Strangers. Wow, I'm very I can't keep focused on what I'm doing today. Okay,
I
recording.
got an issue going on now. I'll bring it up during the podcast.
Yeah, okay.
I'm falling apart at the seams, man.
Well, at least now you know if you just make some minor changes.
Yeah, but now I got something else going on.
Oh,
So
like since you've been to the doctor? Mm-hmm. So you don't know what's going on?
I know what's going on, but I don't know why it's doing it.
Oh. Wow. This is very cryptic. Well, if you're listening
not
to this,
naughty.
you already
Yeah.
know what it is because this is at the end of the show. We're
Spoilers.
time traveling
Spoilers,
right
it's not my wiener.
now. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
good. I hope you wouldn't talk about that on the show. This is
We do a whole episode
this
about
is a
it.
family friend.
Do a whole episode.
Oh, no. Family friendly show.
Oh,
okay.
my goodness.
Wow. That was...
It sounded like
something.
Lucy when I stopped
did.
petting her for a second.
Oh my gosh, yes. Makes the weirdest noises. Every once in a while she gets gurgly and she's like, oh.
Yep.
So weird. Our little Lucy.
Oh, that coffee's good.
She's going to be 10 in October.
I know, Grandma Luce.
Ugh. Makes me want to cry. They were all surprised, though. It was her first time at this new vet.
Yeah.
Because we moved, obviously, since
Yeah.
her last wellness exam. And they're like, I would have thought just by her energy that she's like 3 years old.
Yeah.
Which made us
'cause
feel
she's
better.
energetic.
But she definitely slows down at night. Going up the stairs
Yeah.
is a process for her
Yeah.
at night. But in the morning, she just zips right up
yeah,
there.
she's running around.
I'm
My
not going to
Loosh.
think about it. I don't
Start
really
calling her Loosh. Based on this episode, you'll hear all about Loosh.
Okay. Are we ready? Should we get this
That was
party
not
started?
very much banter.
No. But it is the end of the show now, so.
It is.
Nobody's paying for this, so.
It's true.
I can't believe they were paying for it before, so.
I can't either. It's still taking me a while to get used to having a screen that I can touch
Oh,
because I'm so not used to that,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
catches you off guard a little. You go to point at something and everything moves.
Yeah. Oh, and it bothers me because sometimes I'll be doing my notes for the podcast and I'll go like this to take this off my lap to go get more coffee and I'll accidentally click the X and I'll close the notes. And
That's
it's like,
great.
no. But
You have auto save on.
I don't think I do, but I probably should. Who leads us in?
You.
Oh, dang it. Now I got to find a word. I got to find a word.
Bird is the word. Have you ever seen that Family Guy episode?
Yeah.
Where that
I
song,
know, yeah.
oh my God. Bird, bird, bird.
Yes, I have. I'm not a big Family Guy fan.
I haven't watched it in years, but it's the kind of show I can take in small doses.
Yeah.
It's funny, but after a while, it's like, okay, this is just too much for me now. Bob's Burgers, on the other hand, which I also haven't watched in years, but that is a really funny show.
Yeah. I think I've seen like one episode and I was like,
Bob's Burgers?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to give it more chance than that. The kids are the funniest part of the show. Okay, you ready?
I think so.